What's up? This is The Backyard Show. I'm Caleb, and my co-host is James. And this week we sit down with the band Wayword. We'll discuss their upcoming album, which band member they would eat, if they had to, and how the band got to their current lineup. You can listen to Wayword wherever you stream music. And keep an eye out for their upcoming album. And now, let's get into the show.
So we're ready?
All right.
Welcome to Backyard.
Oh.
Oh my God. Welcome, guys.
Yeah, what's up, man?
Hey.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're in the back, right? Like,
This is the backyard.
This is the backyard, yeah.
Yeah, this is my backyard.
It's kind of like the side yard. The side yard show.
The side yard show.
We do it in different backyards. You guys just happen to pull up at this backyard.
Oh, my bad. My bad. Respect.
the backyard multiverse.
All right.
Okay. Can you walk us through how a Wayward song gets written?
Okay. Wayward song gets written when I get an idea. So usually all my songs are the same. It's usually just 2 chords, and then like the chorus might have 3, if I get lucky. So it usually starts with me literally bored out of my mind, going on GarageBand, and then I just program a drum beat. Like I just get kind of an idea what would be cool. Always 4/4, of course. Just keep it simple. Just start a drum beat, and then just play along to it. And if I come up with a cool chord progression, I'll start capitalizing off that chord progression and start writing a lead. And then I get the lead going, and then from there I could kind of map out the structure. Then I add bass, and then no vocals really, just kind of like hum out a melody. And then I send it to the rest of the band. They learn it. We meet up at practice. We play the song together. And everybody's like, oh, I like that part, but I want to do this differently. Or this is cool, but I didn't really like that part. And then we would all work together, see what we could all add. And then by the end of it, it's not just the song that I wrote. I mean, I came up with like kind of like the basis, but everybody adds to it, and then it becomes a song we all wrote together.
What is everybody adding to it? Does everybody kind of have their own thing that they bring to the table, or is it different for every song?
Yeah, I mean, like, most of the time I'll rework his leads, because it's not really for me, sometimes. But, yeah, I don't know. I really like my leads. Very nice.
For like
catchy.
bass lines, he tends to just like sit root notes up as like a bassist. And then from there I'll like try and work out some melodic fills or like base the progression around certain chords and blah blah blah.
Mm.
Yeah, I'll just like I'll hear his drum beats, and like they're usually just what is it, like the GarageBand drummer kind of?
Yeah, I don't use a real. I don't actually like MIDI it out.
Hey, shout out Kyle.
I use Kyle. Kyle on that
sick.
Portland kit with the room reverb all the way up.
Fucking Portland.
Hey, that's my drummer too.
You use Kyle?
Yeah.
Yeah, Kyle. He's a talented dude.
Kyle's super
gets around.
I honestly wonder how many records Kyle is on.
He should get a Grammy.
Yeah,
He's probably on some Grammy winning.
I'm 100% sure.
Yeah.
That man is talented.
Yeah, but anyways, he'll do that, right? And I'll listen to it, and it's usually just like the same kind of basic thing, whatever. And then I'll just kind of like, I'll just like change up the feel of it sometimes. For a couple tracks, we even like reworked it, like changing up the tempo and like shifting around structure and whatnot. But I mean, I don't know. I kind of just like listen and just see what it needs in the moment.
Have you guys written any songs since you've joined the band?
Me? No. I'm as of now I'm kind of a like session hire or whatever. But yeah, I can't wait to actually start writing some stuff. We've got some ideas in the works. Me and Alberto, I guess we were kind of interested in trying out different tunings other than like kind of just lower or higher versions of standard. So yeah, that'd be cool.
So did you enter the band to work on the new record, or for eventually doing live shows?
At first it was for the new record. I was supposed to be the drummer, but long story short, I sucked. So I got kicked out. But yeah, I was still friends with Alberto, and I was like I was kind of along the ride for him recording and putting together the new band. And so it ended up that I kind of came along to play keyboard. So I don't know how to play keyboard. So,
Yo, don't
that's,
say that out loud.
It
Figure it out, dude.
That brings me to the next question. Like, what are all your guys' roles in the band?
Well, I pretty much write the basis of every song. I sing and I play rhythm and lead sometimes.
And for the audience, what's your name?
I'm Albert.
All right, for sure.
I'm Angelo. I play sexy bass grooves.
I'm Adrian.
okay.
I play leads.
I'm Isaac, and I play drums.
I'm Daron, and I play keys and guitar.
Thank
Right
you.
on.
I'm Caleb.
What do you do?
I don't know. I talk into this mic and
He's an influencer.
set up. Yeah, I am. So when you're writing, like, sketching out the demos, how long does that take, like, typically?
It's weird. Like, sometimes it could take multiple days, but like this song that we actually have out that's called Daydreaming was literally something I came up with in 12 minutes, completely done. Like, if I'm really inspired, I can get it down quickly, but it usually ends up being really simple. When it's just me doing it by myself, it's super simple. 4/4, verse, chorus, verse, outro, that type of thing.
Are the lyrics coming in those sessions too, or is that all done?
Yeah, most of the time when I record lyrics, like, it's mostly, like, I don't really have an idea. Like, I don't think I've really completely established myself as a songwriter. So usually the ideas come from me starting the song and humming out a melody, and then after humming out that melody, I start throwing some lyrics down. Just like what I feel when I listen to the song, that's the words that come out.
Mhm.
And then when I have the whole song written, I'll listen back to it, and then I'll actually write the correct lyrics that flow better, and then the song's done.
Are you typically doing drafts, or do you do drafts of lyrics, or is it just right when you get it, that's it?
I have drafts, like, in my phone, but, in the moment when you write them, you feel like this is just poetry. Like, this is my heart, And then, like, when you're actually about to sing, you're like, this just makes no damn sense. Like, I have no idea what I was thinking. And then you just delete it and you just start from something else.
Yeah.
Like, I have years of just ideas. Like, I'll literally just be walking. I'll be like, whoa, that is a hit. Write it down. And I've never opened it again.
I'm
So
the
how
same
do you
way.
how do you file through the years of idea? Like, which ones are you like, nah, this one's it, or this one's, I'm gonna at least pursue one of them,
I guess, like, I'll go back. Like, most of the time when I lose inspiration, that's when I go to the notes. And there's some songs that have come from those notes. Like, there's a song I have, Wasting Time, that I wrote the riff, like, my first year playing guitar. And I thought it was cool, but I didn't think much of it. And then when the album sessions came around our EP sessions for the first EP, I brought it back out and I was like, you know what, this has potential. And then I made it into a whole demo, worked out with the band. But most of the time, like, my drafts don't ever come to light because I just don't really think, like, I think differently than I did then. So I don't really feel comfortable with it anymore.
For sure.
Because the Winnie song, it's a demo. Is the production usually that good with your demos, or is it because you guys were going to release that song that you, like, kind of upped
The story with Winnie is it wasn't a real song per se. So I got hit up by a label. I'm pretty sure you guys know them, Z Tapes.
Mm-hmm.
They wanted to do a release, and I wrote a song called Rubber Heart that's on our first EP that is literally Winnie. And that song I always felt was like the weakest from that EP. So just from when I really lose inspiration, I rewrite songs. So that was one of the ones I rewrote with lyrics and everything, different patterns. And I just had it on my computer. So when Z Tapes hit me up, they were like, yo, we need a song. And at that point, I had lost all the members that I originally had back then. It was just me by myself. It was more of a solo thing. I didn't know if I wanted to continue the band. So I just had the song there, and I try my best to mix it. I don't really know much about mixing. I know about panning to the left, panning to the right, bass in the center. Maybe I'll move the treble here and there, but to get away with it, I have like a cassette plug-in, and I just say like, yeah, it's lo-fi, and then I'll send it to them. So it wasn't really planned to be released, but they asked for release, and I kind of pushed myself to just get something out.
That song has samples. Did you hear the samples and you're like, I need to write a song, or did you have the song and you're like, oh, I know a sample that we could throw in here?
Yeah, like those samples is from the Wonder Years. Yeah, I'm like a big Wonder Years fan. Kevin Arnold till I die, but I don't know, like I've always liked like the name Winnie, and I always had drafts with the name Winnie, and I had songs named Winnie originally where I was like, oh, I'll rewrite a song and I'll put that name there because that's a show I love. But when I finally finished writing this version of Rubber Heart, I was like, you know what, like I feel like this could have the name Winnie because it's a fully fleshed out song and I could make it different from the original one. So when I just slapped that name on there, I felt like I knew the places for the samples. So I had the sample with her apologizing in the beginning, and then in the middle bridge part I have the sample of him, you know, regretting the fact that he couldn't be there. And the lyrics are kind of structured around like the feeling of regret, you know, not being able to say something you wanted to say and, you know, missing the feeling of being with that person. So I really went back to that specific episode because all those samples are from that same episode. So I really felt like that emotion from that episode when I, you know, finally sang the song for the first time. So that's when I knew those samples would fit there.
You also have another song, or you guys also have another song with a sample on it. Is there a band that you kind of inspired you to put samples in rock music?
I listened to a lot of PHF, Perfect Hair Forever. It's a band from Australia. And almost all of his records just start with samples, like crazy beats with just crazy samples in them. So I've always wanted to throw in samples just because I like the idea of, you know, bringing influence from other like parts of pulp culture. So it's kind of cool, like if you don't know the band, you'll know the sample maybe, and that'll bring you back to it. So just like that, like PHF or bands like Ultra Q have like samples through all their music. And I just feel like it's really different to have like a rock song with samples. So I thought that'd be cool.
Is there going to be samples on the new album?
All over the place. The same samples from When You're Gonna Be There. There's samples in the intro. There's samples from horror movies. Just stuff that like I guess would fit the pulp culture aesthetic, you know, just things that come to mind when I finish writing the song.
What can you tell us about the new album?
It's perfect.
sick.
It's great.
It's a 10 out of
so
10?
sick.
Love it.
We're so proud
What
of
do
it.
you love about it?
What?
What's like something you love about it?
The fact that it doesn't sound like the old stuff.
Oh, okay, for sure,
This
for
is-
sure.
I don't know. It's like the guitar parts. There's a lot of more effort and like creativity with it, and like the vocals. These two harmonizing. It's nuts. It sounds great.
We have some like low key super emo shit on there now. Like
Yeah.
I'm doing some vocal fry and like, and then even like there's this track we have coming out called Dead, and like he's just Albert's going crazy throughout the whole thing. It opens on a house on the last house on the left sample. It's just
That's cool.
Yeah, in the studio I lost my voice for like 2 or 3 days.
Oh, no.
I couldn't go back on paid time.
Jeez.
Oh, no.
So that sucked. But the producer, he was the one that pushed me to really get that vocal fry in there. Because every time I would sing, if you listen to my old stuff, it's more like me being insecure. Like he would turn off the lights and be like, just pretend like nobody else is here, sing. And then it's like, oh yeah, song, you know, it's just so much pressure. And this time he was like, no, you're not going to do this. Like, he's like, you're not going to do this. You did this last time. You're just going to sing and you're going to act like there's people here and you're at a show. And like one thing that I always did was sing with nobody else in the room, just me and him. And then finally this time I got comfortable enough to have everybody in there. And that's when I was able to get all these ideas. I got harmonies for the first time. I've never even experimented with harmonies. And so that's something I think I'm really proud of with the record, is that every other record has been like me being really insecure about it. Because, you know, I don't believe that like I could really do this good. But for the first time ever, I would leave the studio like really excited for it to come out. And that's something I'm really proud of. Also the fact that we all worked together in the studio for 5 days, you know. We just went 10 hours a day. Sometimes we would go even more than 10 hours and just work, and then just go home.
I think that's comforting knowing that, like, because I make music and a lot of it, like, I'm insecure about, and we can relate with that. Do you guys have insecurities about your performances on like, the past songs too, or is it just like...
Nah.
Oh, I mean, you want to go for it?
Not at all, dude. I love my
what
drumming.
the fuck? I mean,
I'm
good on
kidding.
you, but that's wild.
I'm just kidding. No, I don't know. I mean, like, I'm pretty, like, I don't know. I don't know if you remember in Darian's class, he would say this thing where it's like, oh, you should, like, present your work like you're, like, super proud of it. Like, you should never be like, oh, you know, I have this thing. It's like, nah, like,
Yeah.
I have this track. I like the way it sounds. It sounds sick. And just, like, I don't know. That kind of, like, carries through with, like, my playing. Like, I always just like what I do. Like, I don't know. I don't know if that sounds cocky or anything, but it's just kind of, like, I don't, like, feeling ashamed of like, oh, my performance or whatever, because like, I don't know, I've been performing for literally like my entire life, like since I was a kid.
How much of like the insecurities, because I totally relate to what you're saying, like you should put out something that you're proud of and stuff, but I think a lot of like the insecurities that maybe you feel are like come after the fact. Is that true or?
Yeah, like most of the time, even when I write a track at home and I'm about to release it, I'm insecure about it, you know. But you tell yourself, like, you know what, I won't be insecure when I put it out, and then it's out there and you think like this is gonna feel good, and sometimes it never does. So sometimes you can't really get over it, you know, it's just gonna be there, but you could feel better about yourself knowing that you pushed yourself through that, and that'll help you, you know, get over that boundary.
Does playing it live and seeing people like react right in front of you, does that kind of help comfort those insecurities?
Definitely. Like when I hear people tell me that they enjoyed this song that I wrote, or I really like this lyric, or I see somebody singing along, like that's unbelievable to me. I just think like this is something that I was scared to put out, but I could see somebody enjoying. It makes it definitely feel better. But you know, it's the times when you're alone and you're just thinking about your music, that's when it starts hitting you. You're like, damn, I really shouldn't have put this out. What am I doing?
Yeah.
No.
You guys were talking about how you do work in studio, and I think like nowadays there's a lot of like push, like if you're gonna make an album, just make it yourself.
DIY or die.
Yeah, exactly.
What kind of made you guys take the studio route with that?
Well, with me, like every song that I have in the studio, I have a completely fleshed out GarageBand version, but I guess I like having other people's visions really pushing into the music. Like the guy that produces us, me and him have a lot of the same influences, so that's why I always go back with him, because it's nice to get his own like take on what I've created into the music. Whereas like if I just recorded it at home, most of the time it's just going to be me.
Yeah.
And it's not because I don't want other people on there. It's more like, since this is me being really personal, I'd rather keep it personal. So being into a studio, you know, not only can I get a better sound than per se I could get at home, I'm 100% sure somebody could really write a hit record in their house, but I personally don't think I can. So, you know, getting my friends involved inside of the studio, getting the producer involved in the studio, makes it a lot more comforting for me to branch out of things that I wouldn't even think about doing.
So you were telling us that Wayword was kind of like your own solo project. How did you get to get all these guys in the band?
Yeah, it's kind of a long story. Yeah, Wayward started like, so at first it wasn't just a solo thing. I started it with my friend Eric like in 2018, 2017. And it was supposed to be just me and him and our drummer friend Jude. But Wayward's had so many like ups and downs. I mean, ever since the beginning, I've kind of pushed towards writing my own music. And, you know, getting my friends to collaborate.
You're good. It's not that loud in there.
It's not that loud. It passes.
No.
Okay, sick. Don't cut that out.
Imagine.
Keep that going.
Amplify it.
You just amplify it. Just straight like 20 minutes of a helicopter passing. But yeah, so it's never completely been solo. Like I've never thought about just performing by myself, but I've had so many members through the years, so many friends. So like I started with like my friend Jude, who was just a friend that I went to middle school with. And then one day I saw him on Instagram, hadn't talked to the guy in 3 years, and I was like, you want to join a band? He's like, sure, I can play guitar. Met him, and we bought a drum kit, and we said, you know, you're playing drums. Never played drums before. Took him to Guitar Center, went halves on lessons. Never really worked, but I understand why he hated being in the band. But he's on our first EP. He recorded with us. I've had so many lead guitar players. But the way I got to these guys, like I met Angelo at a show. He wanted to go see me when we did our EP release show, and I noticed that he knew all the songs, which is cool. So like he was probably like the only person there that knew what we were playing. So I kind of talked to him then, you know, followed him back on Instagram. We played another show in Pico Rivera a couple months after that. He was there, and he was like, yo, if you want, like if your lead guitar player doesn't show up, because we had a really flaky lead guitar player, he was like, I could just fill in for you. And I was like, oh, okay, well, I have that line now. Played another show, the guitar player didn't show up. I called Angela and I was like, we have a show in an hour. Let's see if you know the songs. Pulls up, plays the whole show with us, know every lead part. So whenever that lead guitar player would flake, I call Angelo. And then that's where I met Adrian, because when I called Angelo to join for that one show, he was with Adrian. So that's how I met Adrian, was through Angelo. Adrian wanted to go see us live, and that's where I met him. He was a hater the whole time, told me I
Fucking
sucked.
yum, yum.
Dude, Angelo, the OG Wayward fanboy. Adrian, the OG Wayward hater.
Exactly.
And he still tossed me on bass.
Yeah,
The
and then
biggest
I
hate
put him on
crime.
bass. Low key, should have put him on guitar, but Adrian's kind of tough to pass up on.
Most talented member in the band.
Yeah, he writes everything. I'm the hired help.
Scratch everything
He's a
earlier.
ghostwriter.
Adrian is the
Yeah,
co-writer.
yeah, he's a ghostwriter. He writes Drake songs too. So yeah, after that, Angelo joined the band. I met Isaac through the Jankos. The first show I booked with Wayward, like that was actually a big public show. I got the Jankos on the bill. It was their first show, and it was our first big show. And I met Isaac there, and we found out that we wanted to go see Remo Drive, and we were in a picture together. And we didn't even know each other. We just like, he was like, "Yo, look at that picture on your Instagram," because he followed me, and Isaac was right there. And he was like, "We were at that show with you." So
He was like behind us. It was me and my homie Josh, and I forgot. And it was a couple of our other friends, and then you with who'd you go with?
I was there with my friend Nathan,
Oh yeah.
and you could just see me like with my hand up, and then them directly behind us. And so he was like, "Yo, yeah." And so we followed each other, and met Duran at a rehearsal I had. We were gonna start a noise rock band. He walked in a cosplay.
Yeah, I was. I went as Jordy Grape. I had like a whole black shirt. I got like a cowboy hat. I thought I was so cool.
This random dude I never knew walks in just cosplaying.
Yeah, I was like, okay, we got noise
You
rock.
were like coming from a convention?
No, I just thought, this is the one situation where this costume will fit, So yeah.
Yeah, he was just like, like his mentality was like, I'm gonna go rehearse with people I've never met before. Let me cosplay.
Yeah, I'd only known one of the people there. Yeah, Anthony. He's really cool.
Shout out Extra Mile.
Yeah, shout out to Extra Mile. And I met him there. And then in like September of this year, August, all of the original members quit the band. Not like anything personal or anything. They just, just didn't want to do it anymore. So at that point, I just wanted to call it quits with Wayward. I was like, yeah, like if there's no point, like I guess this is the sign to just call it. But I already had a deposit in the studio, so I was kind of screwed into getting more members. Like I didn't want to, but I was like, lose the money or
Yeah.
get
I
new
guess he
members.
doesn't want you.
I remember I was like trying to convince you to like keep going still. I was like, dude, it's like
Yeah.
you can it's like at least do the album, I really want to hear that album. Because I was really hyped for the demos and stuff you sent me. Yeah.
Yeah,
Now
like,
we have record of the year.
yeah, we have a Billboard 200.
Yeah.
But yeah, so when I decided to call it quits, I gave it one more shot. I had a jam session with Deron, Angelo, and Adrian. And that's when I was like, okay, like this is starting to work. And then I called Isaac just to, follow up. We hadn't talked since the beginning of the pandemic. And I was telling him about the record, telling him about how everybody quit. And he was like, just come over to my house on Sunday. We'll jam. 3 days later, I showed up to his house and we played like half the record right there, like on the spot. And he started adding his own stuff. So I was like, okay, like I think I'm gonna like ask him to do the studio with us. He said yes. And that's when I just asked everybody, just like, let's all hop on, do the studio stuff and see just where it goes. And that's how we got to this lineup. Isaac was just willing to do it. Adrian was screwed into doing it, and Angela wanted to do it.
No, it's voluntary.
Yeah, sometimes.
Would you like to say why you decided to?
I don't remember.
Oh.
I don't remember anything.
He told me specifically, like when I was trying to sell it on him, he was like, I just really want to see what a studio's like, and I don't want to pay for it.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's why. I just remember that.
As you can see, we're very functional.
How long did you guys have the studio booked up for?
We had it booked for 5 days, 10 hours each day, but sometimes we would go up to 12, 11. And then we didn't finish the record in the 5 days. So Dan, the producer, really loved working with us, and he really loved the record. So he gave us one more free day where we just came in, finished vocals, did some more guitar parts, and we did the record there.
How many songs is the record?
It's 11. I mean, technically 10. One of them's a transition track, but it's 11 tracks.
Wow. Should we do a segment?
Yeah.
We've got a segment on the show called Dream Gear. Are you guys fans of the show?
Yeah.
Yo. Thank you.
Y'all actually like listen to it and stuff?
Yeah, we
Like
were
couple-
checking it out
We
before.
were watching the
before
clipped
we came over
episode before we got here.
Oh dang, that's
Nice.
cool.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Do what they did, listener. Listen, or I guess they are listening to it.
Yeah, that's not the
Okay.
right demographic.
So we got.
We're your demographic.
Yeah, we're just people who are already listening to it. Just keep listening.
Keep listening to the podcast.
Please.
So Dream Gear. Let's cue the Dream Gear music.
It's time for Dream Gear.
All right, you guys want to go in a circle or in a
Let's start with Iran. Let's start with Iran.
start.
Oh
over
my
here.
god.
Let's do 2 pieces of Dream Gear. Just
Okay,
Anything.
yeah, it's good you put a limit on that because I could go on forever. Let's see. It's gonna need to be a good 2 pieces though. Damn. Drum roll, please. I'm gonna take a good minute on this one. Yeah.
All right, that's enough.
All right. I think my first one is that guitar that the Doctor, like in Doctor Who, like uses. With the Yamaha guitar they uses.
Shred.
But like the cool thing is that I was like watching Doctor Who. I binged it all like during quarantine, and so it came to like the 12th Doctor. I was like, oh, that's a cool guitar, and I like looked it up, and like apparently like King Gizzard and whatnot used it. So I was like, might as well, put that on my wish list.
And,
Let's
and then
see.
your second is the sonic screwdriver. Or- Is that your second piece of Dream Gear?
The sonic screwdriver.
Grindcore.
Oh, let's see. Damn.
should we go 1 and then 2?
Yeah, you can come back to me.
All right,
That's
let's
a
go.
good idea.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Fuck. I'm trying to think, 'cause I don't really know much about gear. Like, I don't. As strange as it seems.
There's
like-
this really cool Tom.
Hey, there is a cool Tom. No, I don't know.
Bro, nobody cares about drummers. Come on.
Fuck, I don't know. Like, I'm not really a gear dude. Like, I kind of only first bought, like, actually, no, there's one piece that I actually really want. It's a cymbal called Zildjian Constantinople 22-inch ride. And, like, I love that sound. My friend had one. And for English breakfast, we would practice at our other guitarist's house. And, like, his brother played the drums in like some other bands, and he had one of those ride cymbals, and I would always get to use it, and I just like I fell in love with it, and I've been wanting one ever since. They're like $500 though.
Okay, Adrian.
Me?
Yeah.
Shit. Okay. This is gonna sound like I'm joking. This guy's already cracking up.
Okay.
So there's this ESP, right? It's I'm not joking. There's this custom shop ESP. O.J. Simpson spray painted on the body, and the guitar case. It looks like a jail cell. It's on Reverb right now for like I think $8,000.
Oh dang.
Wow.
It looks like it sounds sick.
Dear listener, you gotta stream Wayword so they could
Yeah.
they could cop this.
We made it when we have the OJ guitar.
They can PayPal me too.
Yeah.
Don't let Alberto get any money from this.
PayPal.me Dr. Pepper fan club. It all goes to Adrian.
We're gonna start a GoFundMe page for you, and we're gonna put the link in the description.
We're not doing that, so don't look for the link.
You could just meet them. The address to the show is
Wait, relax. There you go for it, Angela.
All right. This one I guess isn't like normal Dream Gear, but there's this mic. I was just telling Isaac about it. It's called a MD. I think it's like a MD409 Sennheiser, and it's a super cardioid mic from like the 70s that got discontinued. And I only found out about this because I'm like a diehard LCD Sound System fan, and their lead singer uses it live, and it just produces this like really rich sound, which is funny because it's a guitar mic, and it's it's not typically
LCD sound system, more like LCD's nuts.
Okay, you know what?
Isaac, get the fuck out.
Thank you guys for coming.
yeah. We're gonna let ourselves out. Yeah, thank you guys for watching.
Well, thank you for coming. You can leave.
This guy.
And what's your?
I don't know. Like I'm a big Jazzmaster guy, so like a 1959 Jazzmaster, 63 Jazzmaster, my 2 favorite years. That would be probably my Dream Gear. And that's pretty much it. I mean, I'm just a big Jazzmaster guy. Anything like vintage Fender is what I'm really into. Vintage Jazzmasters. That'd probably be it.
Let's do a speed run of your second picks.
Just say it, Deron. When it comes into your head, shoot it out.
I got the Squire Venus, the 12 string.
Isaac, second take.
For
Nobody's speedrunning this.
I don't know, a Telecaster, something. Fuck, I don't know, dude. I don't know anything about games.
That's good enough. That's good
All
enough.
right, Tele, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
All right.
Probably one of those really nice Soldano tube heads. Those are sick. I played one of those at the Guitar Center in Hollywood. It's like, I don't know. I guess you could say it's like Title Fight, but louder. Louder than Title Fight. That's how nice they were.
Shout out to Lee.
Yeah. Shout out to Lee at Guitar Center in Hollywood.
He plugged it in for us.
Okay.
Cool ass dude.
Shouting out everybody.
Kyle Lee.
Kyle Lee.
This session alone is gonna get us out the hood.
If we tag everybody on Instagram.
Hey,
Yeah.
yo, Lee. Thank you, man. I'll take the Soldano home.
Go for it.
I really want to get the St. Vincent Ernie Ball signature, and I could be wrong on this, but I could have sworn to God, like 2-3 years ago they were only going for maybe $2,000, and I was checking yesterday, and a regular Ernie Ball St. Vincent guitar is going like 6,000.
Is it with the new colorways?
I think it might be.
black?
I was just gonna go for like a straight black or like the baby blue model.
Mhm.
But I remember when I first saw it, I've really been into weird guitar shapes, and just anything that isn't your like Les Paul or Strat. So I saw that and I was like, holy shit, this is like really weird looking, but it's also not super cringy and like metal.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, I really want one of these, and now it's practically unattainable.
I swear those were cheaper. I thought they were like. Did they have like $500 ones?
The
Yeah, Sterling.
budget ones.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Those
but
things
the-
are straight
the
ass
true
shaped.
Ernie Ball
Right.
ones.
Are those American made? The Ernie balls?
Korean. The
the
Korean ones
2000?
are Sterling's. Yeah, and then the Ernie balls are made in, I think, California.
What's your last?
I'm just gonna go quick. 1983, Les Paul Custom, in white.
Beautiful.
So if anybody wants to give me a Les Paul Custom, please. I have a Greco Les Paul, just almost there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we got matching guitars for every occasion.
Yeah.
Wait, you guys really have matching guitars?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're that in sync. We both got Strats that like the colors complement each other, and then we got some Les Pauls. One's black, one's white.
That's cool.
And then we got Jazz Masters.
You guys are both right-handed guitarists?
Yep.
That'd be cool if one of you was left and it was like on one side of the stage, on the other it'd be perfectly symmetrical if you had.
Oh yeah.
I'll be left-handed because I'm more left-leaning and you're more right-leaning.
Wayward is a Republican band.
No.
I'm gonna edit it somehow to where that's the ending.
Oh no.
You got any questions, James? I've been hogging.
If you guys were all on a stranded desert island and had to eat one of your bandmates, who would you eat first?
Fuck.
Come on, guys. Just say it already.
No.
Last hired, first fired.
I know. I feel like it.
Not fire.
I'd
like,
strongly pick Isaac.
What? Why me?
I mean, you're taller than everybody.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, aren't you?
I'm
no,
the tallest.
Deron's taller.
Oh.
I'm taller than.
that
Deron.
changes it. I guess we're eating you.
Yeah, I'm 6'3".
I was gonna say you actually.
Why me?
Adrian is the perfect fit because you are the most active of all of us. You eat like relatively well, and I feel like it would just be really good, like lean, not fatty meat. Plus,
clearly
you're
thought
not
about this
skinny,
before.
so it's enough to live off of for a little bit longer. Like I feel like if I was eating Duran, you feed us for maybe like an hour, and
Pretty much.
I'd just be straight unhealthy to eat.
yeah. So Adrian just seems like the most probable choice.
So, Adrian?
I can agree with you, Adrian. I could live, still see my parents.
Yeah.
Adrian could just.
You can't see your parents because you're stranded on an island. You.
I could think about my
dude.
parents while I'm eating you.
What the hell?
Dude,
Ask another question, James.
when you're stranded, you think of home.
That was your last one. Okay.
I wrote that. I had most of the questions written, and then I wrote the last ones like last night at 12, and that was. I think that's context enough.
Let's do one more segment. If you
I
guys...
literally have right after that question. What do you guys think is the meaning of life?
Fuck bitches, get money.
I thought you were gonna ask
Always strive and
the
prosper.
classic. What's your desert album your desert island album or whatever.
That's coming. Hang on.
Oh man.
Hang on. Well, it's different.
You spoiled it, man. No, I'm just kidding.
So our other segment that we do is Song You Wish You Wrote. I guess that's kind of the same vein, but
I
not
like that
as-
better.
Yeah. So you guys want to go one song you guys wish you wrote?
Dude, I'll go.
Wait, actually, before we go into that, can I say thank you so much for having like genuinely interesting segments. I feel like there's so many podcasts out there that just talk about like normal promotion shit, and I feel like something like Dream Gear is.
Nobody
talks
asks
about
Dream
that on
Gear.
podcasts.
Because I'm a gearhead, I
musicians.
think. Are you a gearhead?
I enjoy gear.
We're a band of gearheads, so this is.
I love it.
flowing nice.
It's just nice to see musicians like promoting other musicians
Yeah.
and like really talking about what we're doing.
Better than Joe Rogan. man.
That's really fucking cool.
Better than Joe Rogan.
You said it.
That's a high compliment.
You guys ever tried DMT?
All right.
Tease.
Song you wish you wrote.
Song you wish you
we
wrote.
we gotta cue the music.
Oh yeah.
It's a good song.
Thank you.
That's my jam.
Fucking banger.
All right, who's
All right, where are
first?
we
I wish
going?
I wrote
Or
that.
Isaac
Alright.
was starting.
I'll go this time. Probably Symmetry by Title Fight.
Okay, that's a good one though. That's a good one though.
Were you guys, was that your guys' answer too?
No, we were just guessing that he was gonna say that.
Everybody,
Angelo told me 2
Title
seconds
Fight.
before. It's title fight, and literally 5 seconds after, the title fight, Dimitri.
Dude, I love them. They're like my favorite, one of my favorite bands, you know? They're great.
You should have heard him on the way home. We were
Bro,
listening to title
dude.
fight last night. I just hear a guy in the backseat going, "You broke me like a mirror."
Dude, I love that song, dude. That's like the first song I ever heard by them that just like blew my tiny mind.
Good ass track.
It
Good
is,
ass track.
It is.
They're on.
Oh man, here we go again with me being a. This is so hard. I don't know. I'm top of my head. I kind of wish I wrote a "Kill Your Idols" by Sonic Youth. I don't know. That just like really grabs me every time I listen to it. Just like the. Dude, I don't know, something about it. It's just like so simple, but like also like I couldn't imagine like how they wrote it even, you know? Just like think of like the logistics of how they're like doing the guitar stuff and whatnot, and then like the lyrics even over it, and drums and whatnot. Yeah, just everything just comes together in like a perfect way. And they're just like, kill your idol. You know, it's just so like catchy in a way, you know? And that, you know.
Catchy noise rock.
Love it.
Albert.
You guys are probably gonna hate me for this one, but honestly, like if we're being real, I would probably say something really pretentious. But at the end of the day, I wish I wrote Freebird.
Fuck.
think
Yeah,
that-
okay,
I think
I get
that's-
that.
yeah.
It's a perfect
That's
song. I mean,
true.
Leonard Skinner sucks. Like, I hate to say
Sweet
it,
Home Alabama though. We were just listening to that. That shit's so good.
Leonard Skinner sucks as people. I'll never publicly say I enjoy Leonard Skinner.
You literally
But-
are doing. This is the most public.
Okay, but I'm not saying I like Leonard Skinner. I just said I don't. But Freebird, I mean,
I respect that.
you don't have a more perfect song than Freebird. Maybe Iris, Goo Goo Dolls, but I'm not gonna say that one. But Freebird is just a perfect song, you know. It's like you have a really beautiful piano intro, you go into a really perfectly structured verse with really deep lyrics, and then you just go into like a rock and roll banger at the end with just like what, like a 3-minute long solo.
Dude, no, it's like the song is like 2 minutes. The rest of it's like 7.
Yeah, exactly. Like you,
That's, like,
you
stupid.
listen to that song and
It's
you're
a
like,
good
wow, like
solo.
I am moved.
It's such
And
a
then by
good
the end of
solo.
it, you're like, all right, who do I punch in the bar? So I don't know. And sometimes I feel like Jenny on top of that, hotel ready to jump. Forrest Gump reference for you guys.
Okay, I can't pick between two of them. It's when I listen to these two songs, man, it's like, I don't know, but it has to be either The Summer Ends by American Football or Cruiser by Red House Painters. Alberto's already cringing right now, but I don't care. Those are the two songs. I couldn't just pick one. Those two.
For sure.
Perfect. Beautiful. Amazing.
You were ready.
Yeah.
Adrian thought this one out.
Very lovely.
Yeah.
Angelo?
Here we go.
All right. Hey, it's not that pretentious.
Not
So-
that pretentious.
This is kind of a two-parted answer. So, if I could have written any song, "Spread" by Outkast. It's on the second half, "The Love Below." Andre 3000. it is quite possibly just the craziest rap song I've heard from that era. It has this like super fast-paced drum groove that's just going throughout the whole thing. There's like a 40-second piano solo, and like all throughout that he's just flowing like the fuck out of his mind. Like, also, it's like 4 minutes long, but doesn't feel like that. Just amazing song. And then, in terms of like, I guess, rock music, I wish I could have written the entirety of the Glow Part 2. Like, just that whole album. Not much to say there. If you've heard it, you know.
What is it?
If you know, you know.
If you know, you know.
What is it?
The Glow Part 2. It's by the Microphones.
Oh yeah, I think you were telling me about them the other day. Yeah.
Bro, I wish I wrote Wasting Time by Wayword.
I wouldn't wish that on anybody.
You're out of the band. Go home.
You're saying that like that's a
Wait,
bad
I gave
thing.
you a right here.
I think that's the show. Do you have anything else?
That's the ending sentence? Oh my god.
Again, you can listen to Wayward wherever you stream music, and check out the Spotify playlist that they curated just for you, Backyard Show listener, at our website, www.thebackyardshowpodcast.com, and be sure to subscribe to our mailing list while you're there too. Thank you for listening. This has been The Backyard Show.
Backyard Show.